This week's Parshas Shemini. It says that when another Navi were nifter, Aaron didn't say anything. The Medrash asked that what was Aaron supposed to say? There was nothing for him to say. So the Medrash answered that Aaron could have said that a baby gets a bris milah on the eighth day that it's born. So the question is, what does a bris milah have to do with Nadar Navi? What does that have to do with anything? So to answer, you first have to know why Nadar Navi were nifter. One of the reasons why they were nifter is because when they did the avodah, they were drunk. So what's the reason why they did it drunk? The reason why they did it drunk is because it says that when you serve Hashem, you should always be happy. And the Gemara says the only way to be happy is with wine. So therefore they drank, they got drunk, and they did the avodah. That's why they were nifter. What happens by a bris? By a bris, the reason why a baby gets a bris on the 8th day is because on the first 7 days, a lady is tameh. So if they would have the bris within the first 7 days, then everyone would be b'simcha besides for the husband and wife, because the wife is tameh, so they wouldn't be happy. So therefore, we push off the bris to the 8th day where everyone could be happy. So therefore, Aaron could have said, just like a bris, we push it off a day for everyone to be happy. So over here, Nadar Navi, the only reason why he did that avodah is to be happy. So therefore, this how the Medrash compare a bris to the reason why Nadar Navi, to a bris to Nadar Navi. And this is the reason why Aaron was zeicha to talk to Hashem about the avodah of being drunk. Another question is, it says that when you have a fish, in order for a fish to be kosher, it has to have fins and scales. And the Torah doesn't just say it has to have fins and scales. The Torah adds in a word bamayim. It says in the water it has to have fins and scales. So the question is, what's the Torah adding in the extra word bamayim in the water? So you can answer this with a story. There was once a king who went to a Rav's house, and the Rav brought out fish. And the king started screaming at the Rav that, what are you bringing fish in? This fish doesn't have fins and scales. I think you guys go with the halacha, you have to have fins and scales. So the Rav answered that no, this type of fish, when it comes out of the water, it doesn't have fins and scales anymore. But in the water, it has fins and scales. So the king started screaming at the Rav, yep, if you don't prove this to me, I'm going to kill you. So the Rav went, he threw his jacket in the water. When he pulled it out, there was fins and scales in it. So therefore you can answer that the reason why the Torah says Ba'mayim has to have fins and scales in the water is because once it comes out of the water, it's possible for the fins and scales to come off. So even if the fish has fins and scales in the water, but once you take it out, it doesn't have fins and scales, it's still going to be kosher. And therefore the Torah added in the extra word Ba'mayim. Have a great Shabbos.